Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be giving you guys a 9-0 guide for the current Brawl-O-Ween challenge, which is coming out tomorrow. So we're doing a video on that as well, just trying to obviously do that as fast as possible. But we're going to be giving you guys the best compositions and tips to use on the 3 maps that you're going to be playing. So it's only 9 wins, so it shouldn't be too hard, hopefully. So before we get into today's video, make sure you're using the correct code in the shop. That'd be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump into today's video. All right, guys, so jumping into the first set, we have XL Bounty, and obviously with all the first rounds, you're going to be facing off against easy opponents. So I'll always try and advise you guys to pick more of the comfy brawlers, but I'll give you guys a few options to pick from, because to be honest, you should be able to walk through the opposition quite comfortably with these compositions. So the first comp I do recommend running is the Byron, Bell, and a Tick combination. Byron, Bell just going to be really good against everything. Byron can be pretty decent against aggro and just good against every single really brawler in the game right now. Bell's going to be good against everything, good against long range, and good against those tanky brawlers. And the same with Tick. Really, Tick can have that good defense against those aggro brawlers with his gadget and his super. So that's why I've advised this one. So in terms of ladder, high trophy ladder, like the compositions that you're going to be finding yourself playing against the likes of Byron and like double tank like a Buzz, Ash, Mortis. So you've got to be really careful of those aggro brawlers. Of course, you could just run those brawlers yourself, like a Byron or a Poco, and like one of the three aggro brawlers like Ash, Mortis, or Buzz, and you're going to be having a really good time as well. So I don't really recommend any more brawlers other than those ones, because again, you've got to be really careful of the tanks. Like the tank meta right now is kind of crazy. It's either you go kind of anti-tank or you go tanks yourself. So also you could maybe run like a Piper. Like Piper probably use snappy sniping instead of ambush because of those tanky brawlers, but of course with a gadget it's going to be pretty good. You've got the likes of Leon as well, which he's pretty good against aggro and against squishy brawlers as well. Make sure you're putting that gadget really far back, and especially try and get more value out of it now that it ticks down in HP over time. But yeah, as I said, you should be pretty comfortable on this one. Just running the compositions that I said. Maybe probably it's best using aggro, to be honest. I mean, aggro does take a little less skill for me, in my opinion, especially if you're running like an Ash and a Buzz. You can just constantly get pressure and just spawn camp them if they're not very good. And if you want to win by a long margin, then the aggro is probably the way to go. So that's probably going to be it in terms of compositions. Should be straightforward for this first one. Let's hop into the next map. All right, guys, so going on to set number 2, we have Gem Grab IQ Angles. So for me, there's only really 3 mids you can go on this map. You've got the Gene, who I think is going to be the best option on this map, just because of the way it's designed and the walls, and just especially when you get pull on this map, it's just really good for pressure. So Gene's going to be the number 1 mid in my opinion. Then you've got the likes of a Bell. Bell's just going to be as good as a Gene, just depends on what really kind of like. So the Gene or Bell for me, and then even like a Byron if you're feeling it a little bit fancy, and especially if you've got aggro brawlers in your comp, then you want to be using that Byron to heal them up. So yeah, they're going to be the 3 mids that you want to be using. So for the lanes, I think it's really easy. I think Meg probably is like the number 1 pick. But of course, she's a legendary brawler, only just got into the game. So if you've not got Meg, then there's other options as well. So you've got the likes of Spike and Sandy that you can use, both really good down the lane. Spike's going to be insane, especially if you're really good at conserving ammo, just keeping the enemies back. Especially with that gadget, you're going to be able to win a lot of different lanes. Sandy just going to be really good for pressure, and once you get that super, you're going to be able to cover up the entirety of the map. Stu, as always, going to be really, really good. Of course, you've got to be a little bit careful because there's a lot of spikes on this map, which Spike does hard counter Stu pretty well, so got to be careful of that one. Leon, of course, going to be really good in Gem Grab. Even after the gadget change, he's just going to be really good paired with that mid. You know, if you've got a Gene Pool and that Leon gadget in the back, it's going to be really scary for the opposition to really do too much. So that's probably about it, really. I don't really recommend many 2 other options. Maybe you can go like a Tara if you're feeling it a little bit fancy, but other than that, I don't really recommend any other lanes, to be honest. Just trying to look for like the brawler list here, and there's not really any other options. I mean, maybe if you want to go aggro, as I said, you could go with like an Ash, Mortis, and like a Poco, or like a Buzz again. So those type of aggro brawlers you can go. So yeah, that's going to be it for set number 2. Let's hop into set number 3. All right, guys, so going on to set number 3, we have Sneaky Fields on Brubbles. So again, the theme is here. You either go anti-tank or you go tanks. So for me, and the way we've been playing scrims, I think the best composition is obviously that we have a few bans in playing scrims, but most of the time we're playing like a Rico Spike, or the enemy team is then like a Bell or a B in the middle. That's going to be like a really good composition that's good against pretty much everything. You've got the Rico bounces that can really help in the middle and just pretty much shut down an entire lane. Spike, of course, just absolutely insane in this meta, so a really solid pick. So if you're not really comfortable using those brawlers, again, you can go the aggro comp, which like Poco, Frank, and a Buzz, or an Ash, or a Mortis. Like, these brawlers are going to be insane. Frank is insane on this map, by the way, just because of the bushes, and especially if you got that new gadget, you can one-shot a lot of these brawlers. You can one-shot a Bee and a Spike just from that gadget alone, which is going to be pretty crazy. So yeah, Frank's going to be really, really good here. So of course, you got to watch out for the aggro, as I said. So other options down the lane, again, you got the likes of Sandy. Sandy's just going to be good against pretty much everything. The same with Tara as well, just really good gem grab and brawlers that you can just feel pretty comfortable with. Meg is going to be pretty insane. A lot of people don't really like playing Meg, but for me, I think Meg is a really strong brawler. The way you got to play Meg is just be super aggressive once you get that mech form. Wait for that super, wait for that slash, and for a lot of the times you can just one-shot brawlers just because of, well, obviously how much damage it does. It's just pretty insane, and they just can't do anything about it because of how much HP Meg has. So Meg is a really good option here. So yeah, don't really recommend any other brawlers. So you've got a Bella or B in the middle, maybe even a Byron again, and maybe even a Jean if you're feeling a little bit fancy. You've got a Rico, you got a Spike, you got the Sandy. Down the lanes, they're going to be the best, and the Tara, they're going to be like the 4 best lanes, and then of course you can go those aggro compositions. So yeah, that's really going to be it for this map. Just of course, it's always down to try and keep in that middle control because of the bushes and forcing the enemy team back. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. A really short one, to be honest. You know, it's pretty simple, and considering it's only 9 wins, there's not too much really going into it. So one thing I will say, as I didn't mention, I think Meg is absolutely insane. So if you've got Meg, I think play her basically on every single mode. Maybe it's set for bounty, but if you feeling comfortable on Meg, she's just really strong. As I said, make sure you're using that super to good effect. I think she's potentially the best brawler in the game. Really underrated right now. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed the same kind of brawlers in all of his compositions, so it shouldn't be too much of a worry. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.